Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Gore Call, in which we take the time to speak with small cap CEOs to catch up on what's going on at their companies. With us today, David Reingold, President and CEO, Molecule Holdings, trades in Canada under the stock symbol MLCL. For those new to the story, I love this story because Molecule is an on-ramp to the nascent Canadian cannabis beverages market. So what the company does is help craft beverage partners formulate high-quality, award-winning products which are packaged and infused at Molecule's cannabis production campus located in Eastern Ontario's Thousand Island regions. More than just lip service, they've got a 200,000 square foot production facility, and they've begun selling their unique line of cannabis-infused beverages throughout Canada, starting in Ontario and Québec. They hold a standard processing license issued by Health Canada that allows them to manufacture cannabis-infused products and sell them to other licensed producers, but they're also in the final stage of completing their own application to allow them to sell directly. And they've had a lot of news in the last couple of months, last summer months. David, welcome back, my friend.
Thanks, George. Nice to speak to you.
Hey, so before we get to some specifics, as you've had some really interesting news, we're talking about the first coffee-flavored cannabis beverage that's going to come out. You did a $2.4 million debenture that you closed, and you brought a national sales director, so some great stuff happening. But before we get into some of the specifics, what's the status of the company right now as you've gone through this last 6 months of starting to get your product on shelves?
We feel really good. The products are doing well in market. Some of them are doing actually awesome. So we're excited about where we've gotten to in such a short period of time. As you mentioned, we brought on a Canadian sales manager. He's put together a team of in-store specialists. So we'll start really driving penetration for our products in store. So it feels like the business has grown up from being a startup to more of a ongoing CPG effort. And it feels like we're going to get rewarded for our efforts.
How is consumer acceptance of cannabis-infused beverage products right now?
I would tell you, since I've now seen it for a while, it keeps on growing, right? So I look at the Ontario market numbers every month. Well, truthfully, I look at it every day. And month over month, the beverage market on a whole, it continues to get larger. So it's really about us creating trial in the category. We've done that with our fresh product. As you can see, I'm wearing the fresh sweatshirt. But we're really creating trial with that one. We brought a 10 milligram drink into the market at Ontario's best price. The product really since inception has been doing exceptionally well and continues to build steam.
How many products do you have on shelf right now in Ontario and Quebec? And what are you thinking ballpark? Because I know we can't really pin you down specifics, but where do you think that'll grow to in the first half of 2022?
Yeah, so right now we have 6 products in market. We have a couple of the coffee flavor that you mentioned, the new brand Canajo, will launch in early 2022. I can tell you there's a couple of others that we're really excited about that you'll probably hear some news on very soon. So I think from 6, it is going to grow tremendously, not in just the SKU count, but also in the provinces that we're hitting. So, it was important for us to make sure that we had a team in place to support that expansion. And with Tiago and his group now part of the business and really, hitting the street sort of at full speed, I think we're ready to really move on to other provinces with additional SKUs.
And it's a good place to remind everybody that you essentially started selling your cannabis-infused beverages in May, which was still during the pandemic. So fair to say that you guys have got a lot accomplished in the last 6 months, because you're an experienced guy, and I want to talk about that in a second for all new investors, because they definitely got to know who you are. But safe to say that, are you happy? What's your level of satisfaction with the progress you've made in the 6 months since you guys started coming out to market?
Well, I think we're really happy, right? So we actually started like right in the depths of the pandemic. Stores at some of the stores weren't open. Some of them were, delivering product outside their door. It was a real mess when we started. So a different environment now for sure. Our sales guys are able to go in and speak to bud tenders. We actually have done a live bud tender event since the launch. I think that was in September, and it was, a great response to not only the products, but just us being an Ontario company supporting, Ontario workers. There was a real big sort of, it felt like everyone was really supportive to a traditional, small cannabis company really developing exciting and important products in the marketplace. So we were happy about that. But yeah, I think we've really accomplished a lot in the market.
So I'm really curious to hear about your announcement last week that you're going to be launching Canajo, right? The first coffee.
Yeah.
Canajo.
Yeah.
I was going through too much baseball. Jose Canseco. I signed the J. Canajo, which obviously should have been my first clue. The first coffee flavored cannabis beverage. Talk us through that, because I've never thought about a coffee flavored cannabis beverage. And is it the first anywhere? Is it the first in Canada, first in North America?
It's hard to say because there's two markets, one being the illegal one and one being the legal one.
Let's talk legal.
Yeah.
Illegal.
I've not seen another coffee product in the market. Listen, they'll tell you 71% of Canadians drink coffee every day. It's really a flavor, in our opinion, that will get people comfortable around cannabis. So that's sort of why we went with it. I can tell you from a selling standpoint, it's been that easy slam dunk type of product. I can't imagine that any store, any province won't take a look at it. It's really an easy one to sell.
When's that one going to hit the shelves? Because I got to tell you, I would love to. I'm not a big alcohol guy, but if it's coffee flavored, I'd love to give that a shot. When do you think that's going to start hitting shelves?
I'm sure you'll see it very early in 2022. There's a couple of things in place that we're working through right now, but we feel good about that. You'll see it in a couple of spots in very early 2022.
By the way, I am a Greek, and all us Greeks drink frappe. So if you can come up with a frappe flavored cannabis beverage, I think you got the Greek and Mediterranean market locked down. So put that in the product cycle.
I'll definitely put that on the list. We have, we're spending a lot of energy on innovation. I can tell you, we think it's really the pipeline to success in cannabis is not just coming out with another drink, but coming up with a drink that really means something. So both on the recreational side, on the healthy living side, there's a lot that we have in store for the market.
By the way, devil's advocate, most people drink coffee to stay alert, whereas cannabis sometimes is the opposite effect. So how do you reconcile that?
So it's we'll have a little of both, right? So there'll be products coming into the market that will be higher CBD levels with very slight levels of sorry, I don't know if I lost you there.
That's okay.
Yeah, there'll be products in market with high levels of THC and low levels of THC. So it's really the input that we put in that really is going to drive what happens after you have the beverage.
Financing is always important, especially when doing consumer packaged goods, because that can drain the bank account pretty fast if you're not careful with it. And not that you're not, but you close a $2.4 million roughly debenture over the summer. How far does that take you guys, David, into your plans here?
Yeah, so I think that'll take us for sure into next spring and beyond. The good news is that we have no CapEx that we're really dealing with at this point. We really put that financing together to deal with resources to sell beverages. So a lot of that is going to be used towards marketing. A lot of that is going to be used towards team building to make sure that we have people in place to pull product off the shelf.
Are you still constrained by the rules in marketing, which is you can put on the shelves of at OCS, like Ontario Cannabis Store, for example, but are you allowed to brand and market through Facebook or anywhere or the rule's still pretty tight and you just got to do it all through this in the store?
So it's a little bit of both. Obviously, we have more leeway when we're in store, and we know the audience is allowed to be consuming those types of products. I think we have opportunities for sure for brand building outside of the stores, but I think you have to work within the regs. But there are definitely opportunities.
You announced you've also announced that you're close to completing your sales amendment with Health Canada.
Yep.
How does that change the bet? First of all, do you have an ETA? And I know it's the government, so you probably don't, because all of us who are dealing with the government, things are so backlogged. But if you have an ETA, let us know. But more importantly, how do you think that'll change your business for the better, being able to sell directly?
Well, I think there's a couple of things on that front. So for sure, number one, it helps the bottom line. So right now, obviously, we're paying a sales commission to our partners to help us in specific regions. So if we choose to go it alone, that sales commission will obviously go away. In addition to that, it'll give us direct access to the province replenishment teams, which is really, it makes our business easier to manage when we have direct lines of communication. And, the last one, and we haven't really decided what we're going to do with it yet, but really that license allows us possibly to represent others and really take advantage of the teams that we have and possibly, expand on a new and additional revenue stream. So it's important to get through it. I wish I could tell you a specific day that we're going to get it, but I know that it feels like we're through the process. Questions from Health Canada have sort of we've gone through that area. So it feels like it's just a waiting game at this point.
What does a competitive landscape look like? Obviously, you guys have, you're innovating, you're releasing great products, you've hired great people. So, you're hunting for bear, but there is competition. What does the competitive landscape look like? Why do you think you're the best or one of the best?
Well, it's funny. There's a lot of LPs, obviously, in the cannabis business, but very few as it relates to beverage, right? So I think for us to be successful, or one of the ways that we can be successful, is going to direct to market on our products, which is something that we're definitely focusing on right now, is direct to province sales. So where I think we compete, we have really an awesome beverage creation team. We have now a very strong team in market that is, working on store penetration. I think those two things together is a license for success. And it's about right now just doing the work, right? So we know the beverage market is going to build. We know from our early start in the market that our product flavors are great. We have a big we have a big library of flavors available, and we have a team behind us now that is managing marketing, brand creation, and everything to do with that. So we feel like we're a well-oiled machine, and it's about providing consumers with products they want, and then driving cannabis stores to understand the products and recommend and promote them to their customers.
Yeah, and to be clear, there's always going to be room for competition. I mean, the beer market, the wine market, it's dominated by a number of players. So I want to make sure people are watching and listening. This isn't a winner takes all approach, but it seems like you guys are positioned to be one of the top guys out there because you've got great designs, great flavors, great formulations. How do you rank yourselves in terms of how happy are you with the variety of the product and the great branding against the competition?
Yeah, so I think you'll see soon. It's another area in the business that we've spent a lot of time focusing on is within the beverage category. There will be sort of subcategories within that, broader category. And what we've spent a lot of time in developing is a spot for our drinks in each of those subcategories. So I think when you see Molecule really evolve over the next short period of time, you'll see that we're trying to grab pieces of all the smaller pies within the category. So we'll have a number of brands in category, but in our opinion, those brands won't be competing against each other because they're really going to be looking for different consumers.
Right.
I think it relates to other LPs. Listen, overall, there's room for players in this category. And the truth is that we really should all be working together to build beverage as a category, right? So if we build beverage as a category, the more people that enjoy fresh, as an example, the more opportunity that one of the other LPs has for them to try one of their beverages. So overall, it's our responsibility, truthfully, to bring good products to market, be consistent with how we sell them, and make sure that consumers have, good information about why they're drinking them and when they're drinking them and how they're going to feel when they drink them. And then that's just going to snowball into a better category, right? So
yeah, I do like that, because we all have our favorite wines or our favorite beers or our favorite coffees, but it doesn't mean we don't occasionally try other ones as well, right? I love Camus as red wine, but I'm gonna drink other ones as well. I'm not gonna drink one bottle for the rest of my life. So I really like what you're saying there in terms of working together. Are you talking to other LPs by chance? Any collaboration going forward? You guys are talking maybe with this fantastic facility you have. Are you looking at the possibility of you actually packing for some of the bigger names out there?
listen, we look at business opportunities all the time, and yes, for sure, we speak to LPs. There's like I said, we're all in this together, right? So, and the overall goal is to build the category, and then whoever's going to be the biggest will be the biggest, and whoever won't, right? But from our perspective, we want to be collaborative. We know that builds the beverage category. We know that's good for all the vendors. From our personal standpoint, we're going to make sure that we have the right team in place, the right beverage team in place in respect to creating products, and we think we'll do just fine in the category.
Yep. I mean, look at that, like the energy drink category. Did that even exist 20-ish years ago, 25, right, or barely? And now it is. People can't think of a time when it's not part of the when it's not such a massive category.
Yeah. So what's really important there is as an example, the bigger Red Bull becomes, the better everyone else does as well, right?
Absolutely. That's why I like. And usually I'm a pretty good rounded thinker. I've done enough of these, but I never really thought about that way. So, and on that note, let's talk about you and why you're a thinker like that. A lot of CEOs will talk the talk. They can take out the catchphrases like coaches sometimes, and use the catchphrases at press conferences. But you've been there. Talk to us a little bit. I know it, but I think new people should know it as well. Why did the company name you President CEO? There's a reason for that.
Listen, I have you can tell my gray beard. I've been at this for a little while, but I've been on the CPG side, most importantly the organic and better for you food side, for many years in the country. I definitely know the landscape. I definitely had some success building CPG brands in the past. To me, cannabis feels just like that, right? We're really at the beginning of a new industry, a new category, and it's about teaching and going up and down the street and getting the work done. So I've done that for sure in my other careers, let's call it, over the last 30 years. So I think I have a roadmap for this, and I think now we have the team in place to get it done.
Based on that, David, do you have any doubt that this category in general is going to grow, and B, that Molecule is going to get its fair share of this growing category next year, the year after, and the year after that?
Yeah, so short answer is I have complete confidence in the potential of the beverage category. I still go back to some of the smartest minds in wine or alcohol, in beverage. Everyone's betting on cannabis-infused beverages. I don't think it's a question of how successful it'll be. It's really a question is how long will it take for that ball to start rolling downhill, right? So I'm confident about it for sure. I'm confident in our team because I put the team together. I know what it takes to build store penetration and to drive sales through a new placement in store. So I'm confident that we have a roadmap that'll make us successful.
Last question for you. Supply chain. We all know supply chain is a real problem around the world. And not that cannabis is going to be the problem for you, but you do rely on, cans and things like that. Any problems there with supply chain? Any challenges there? And by the way, it wouldn't be unique to you. It'd be the entire group. But any challenges there? Any issues that you foresee that could be hurdles?
Yeah, so for sure, nothing unique to us. I think we went through that phase of growth, and we talked about it, George, a while back. But I think we went through that phase where we were very concerned about, about inputs to the beverage, whether it be cans or whatever that might be. We've gone through more of a planning stage, and we have a better idea of what our needs are. We've got commitments in the market to make sure that we have all the right things in place. So I'm not concerned about it as it was sit today. We've really sort of planned out, quite a bit of volume down the road. So I feel like we'll be strong.
Right, that's good, because I do know I have somebody in the water business, and they're having problem getting glass bottles.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They're actually telling some of their customers, don't throw your glass bottles, we'll come back and get them, which is astounding to me, but great to know that you've got a handle on that. So last word to you, David. What do you want your shareholders and more importantly, even potential shareholders, because you guys are just getting going, right? And I can't wait to watch what you guys can do in 2022, but what do you want the takeaway to be for everybody?
I think that's it. We're just getting going. So I think you're going to see a lot from Molecule over the next 6 months. I think you'll see us really broaden our horizons with provinces in the market. I think you'll see some innovation from Molecule that you haven't seen in the market as it sits today. So I think over the next short while, I think you'll see a lot of great stuff. We're really excited about what sort of the near-term future has for us. And we're excited to continuing building share value, right?
Just remember, if you come out with a frappe flavored cannabis beverage, I want that 5% royalty, okay? I got you on video, so you can't get away from it now.
You're our guy for sure.
Thanks for joining us, David. I mean, great stuff on what you've done, getting the company going here. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do in 2022 and have you back real soon.
Great talking to you, George. Thank you.
For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, or your favorite podcast platform to David Reingold. He's president and CEO of Molecule Holdings, trades in Canada under the stock symbol MLCL. For those of you new to the story, that's going to be a lot of you because the company's just getting going. Do your due diligence. 2 ways to do it. First, get the company's profile on the Agoracom, where we break down the company and all the different things that it has going on into good summary so you can really understand the company. And then to do your deep dive due diligence, link over from there, from the Agoracom site, or head over to molecule.ca. Because look, if you believe in the future cannabis, if you believe in the future cannabis-infused beverages, and the team that David's that put together over at Molecule, then you got to do your due diligence. Just don't tell us 12 months from now that we didn't tell you so. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. See you next time. Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.